to the Forward Miami show. I'm your host, Damian Pardo, and Forward Miami is an organization nonprofit that works on diversity and inclusion. We're also the producers of the Gay Ocho Festival in Little Havana, February 20th, coming up, not this Sunday, the next, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. I'm honored and incredibly happy to have with me as a guest Yas Gonzalez.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
The honor is
Yas.
totally mine. I'm so happy
Welcome.
to be here today with you, sharing this space. Thank you for having
Welcome.
me.
Welcome.
Thank
I'm
you.
super happy because you're the only Cuban American fashion designer I know of. I'm also super happy because you're young, you're dynamic, and you're part of this community. You're born and bred, you are Miami.
Yes,
So I'm
sir, I
just
am.
super proud about
Thank
that.
you. Thank you so much. I've worked very hard to get here and I'm still working at it. So now it's my turn to support others. I think it's time to tell the audience what we're speaking about.
Well, before that, I want to know a little bit about you. Like, I
Okay,
want to know
great.
like how you got here. Like,
Well,
what's your story?
I
Where were you
studied
raised, born?
journalism and communications. I was
Uh-huh.
born in Cuba. I came when I was a little girl, and I studied journalism and communications here. I started at Miami-Dade College, and then I went to FIU. I actually had a magazine for 10 years called Hit Magazine.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes, here in Miami. It got international. It even went to Dubai. It was amazing. I took it bilingual so that we could make it
Mhm.
international. We had a lot of big stars in the covers. I did a lot of interviews. I enjoyed that magazine so much. But through the magazine, getting boutiques and designers to bring me clothes to do photo shoots for the fashion segment, I started liking fashion because I was like, I would get the clothes and I was like, this is missing a different neck. I would take the sleeves off of this. I would put something else on the bottom of this. So I was like, oh my God, this is really all there is in Miami. This is like all the clothes that exists. So most of it were clothing bought from other countries, brought here, and then they just sell it and they put their brand on it. It's like, no, no, this cannot be. So I said, you know what? I went to a fabric store. I bought a bunch of fabrics and I took it to a seamstress. When I took her the fabrics, I told her what I wanted to do with them, not knowing how to draw or anything. And she was like, this is impossible. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. So I thought to myself, you know what? This is harder than it seems. I sold the magazine and I went to school for fashion. Imagine that.
No, that's incredible.
And I had just had a newborn, my 12-year-old. So when I did that, after 2, 3 years, I got the lady to work for me because I already knew what I was talking about. So I would
Yeah.
tell her, with this, you're gonna do it like this, like that, and make it this way. So it was incredible. So that's how I got into fashion.
So when you see a dress or a suit, or you already have the whole like architecture in your mind of how everything.
Well, kind of. Sometimes I'm laying down in bed at night
Mhm.
and I'm like, I have a customer that I have to make a dress for it. I'm there sitting or laying down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sew this here, do this there, move it to this side. So I'm like creating it in my head before I get hands on. But I do sometimes, especially when it comes to collections, I do draw out the designs and
Mhm.
then that's when I start working on them. Or some other times I just see a fabric and I just start cutting and something amazing comes out.
I mean, it's obvious that you love this and that you're
Yes,
passionate about it.
very
So, I
much.
mean, I think when someone has a sewing machine in their room and they're like actually right, like you just it comes to you and you
Yeah.
immediately think about it.
Sometimes I'm like, doing other things around the house with the kids. And I'm like, I wish I could just go into my sewing room and just like lock myself there forever.
Mhm.
Not that I don't love my family, I do, but it's my passions. I want to
Sure,
be there all the time.
sure. And I know you love Miami too.
I
Like
do.
I
I
know you
love
love the
Miami.
city.
I totally do love Miami. It's
Yeah.
like it's home, it's where all my memories were made and it's where I grew up, where I had my kids. It's home.
It's a good segue to the project we're working on
Oh
now.
yeah,
So
definitely. This project has always been my dream. My little girl dream was to make something. I started thinking when I had the magazine, I was like, maybe I could do a cover party in this place, or maybe I could do some sort of event. But apparently, this is what's happening. So I'll
the
give.
universe, the
Yes,
universe.
yes, 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 yes. It was totally on my vision board, by the way.
That's so
So
great.
yeah, I have to scratch that off.
That
Done.
is really great. Okay, so the big reveal.
The big reveal. Go for
All right.
it.
So at Gay Ocho Festival on February 20th, the Republic of Yaz will be launching that I know of, the first fashion show street level in Miami
Yes.
ever in Domino Park
Yes,
in the
sir.
middle of Little Havana
Yes, sir.
with curated designers, curated by the one and only Yas
Yes.
Gonzalez.
I am so excited about that. I
So
just can't
tell
wait
us
to
a
see
little bit.
people's face. All the people that tell me that's impossible, you cannot do it. You know what? I have for you copies of emails that I've sent to the city, to other people, to friends, to well, not the city, but all their friends to help me get to the city and get there so that I can accomplish this dream. And I was looking through my emails and I saw that and I was like, this is incredible. I've been trying to do this for so many years. And so many people have told me that's you cannot do it, or no, you're gonna need this and this insurance, or I don't think the city is gonna approve you. Guess what? The city is backing me up. You are backing me up. Forward Miami is backing me up. Gay Ocho is backing me up. And we're creating an amazing platform for dreamers, other designers, artists out there to come and show their work for the first time
You
in
know,
Miami.
you said just now such an important thing. The hashtag for Gay Ocho Festival is live your story here. And a lot of people don't realize that it's a diversity and inclusion festival. Some people think of it like a gay pride, that's fine. A Latino gay pride, that's fine. Some people it's Calle Ocho extended, that's fine. You know, but it really is about dreams and about having a space for dreams and people who want to build them and it being okay, whatever that dream is. I think it's amazing that it's an inspiration for you and others to think about a space that's welcoming, to say, hey, why not try this?
Yep.
Why not look at this a little bit differently?
I totally I believe that the younger people, the newer generations need a lot of drive. They need a lot of support and motivation, especially now after COVID. A lot of people are there's some weaker than others, some people that are emotionally stronger than others. So newer generations, and I've seen it throughout my son and his friends,
Mhm.
and they need the motivation, they need this type of events, they need to go out there and show their work. They're afraid to do so.
Why are they afraid?
I
What do
have
you?
no idea. I have no idea because since I was little I've never been afraid. I've
Right.
always been a go get it,
Yeah.
but definitely we have comments.
Oh, okay. Can you read it?
Yes, when do you think that wardrobe is going to become more futuristic rather than recycling old styles from the
Yeah, I
past?
need glasses, so
Join the club.
oh, there it is, it's bigger.
It's
Okay.
not like it's a huge font.
Hi, George. There is already fashion that's more futuristic. And that's what I was talking about. The recycling old styles from the past is the whole point that we were talking about in the magazine. That I would get stuff that were, that my aunt used like 10 years ago, and these are stuff made in China.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can make your clothes in China, but design it differently. Don't just buy what's there. And there is a lot of futuristic stuff out there. It's just that it's not in any platform that people could see it. That's one of the reasons we're creating this platform, because we're trying to get the new generations that are thinking about the future, that are creating for the future, things that we haven't seen before.
Mhm.
We're giving them a platform to showcase their work. I mean, there's kids from MIU, from MDC that I'm having on board with this show, that are creating pieces that I've never seen before, that have lighting, that have movement, electronical movement, you know. And these kids don't have the funds to put themselves in front of New York Fashion Week or Paris Fashion Week, because that costs money,
Yeah.
to showcase yourself there. So if they don't have the funds, how are we going to see all the futuristic stuff? How are we going to
Yeah.
see what's up and coming? There is no platform that supports these people. So that's my goal in life, supporting newer generations and giving them what I didn't have.
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
beautiful. I mean, that's
that's you'll
beautiful.
see the futuristic stuff, George, in our show. So don't miss it.
That's great. You were talking a little bit about the casting call. We were talking
Yes,
about
we were
that.
talking about the casting call before we started the show, and I've been to hundreds of
And
castings.
explain what that is.
Yeah,
In
the
other words, it's the casting call
casting
for the
is
models.
yes, that's where we do a call to all the girls that want to be models or the professional models. Everyone is welcome to come. As a matter of fact, we use the term "all humans welcome,"
Yeah, exactly.
which
Because
was
we were like sizes, colors, like
yeah,
they
yeah.
just
So
put all
a
humans.
lot of people were like, "But little girls could go." I was like, "All humans. Is she an alien?" No, okay, then she can go. We accept everyone. So I was like, oh, maybe 40, 50 models are going to show up, which is the normal. A lot of people showed up. I was impressed. And there was little girls, there were teenagers, there were older people, and it was amazing because everyone got to showcase who they are, to be free, to walk as they pleased. And they started walking all like, model-y type. And I said, no, no, no. Walk as if you're walking at the supermarket. That's the walk that I want, the real walk. Let's stop being fake here. Let's showcase real stuff. So that gave
Wow,
them.
just that alone kind of blows me away.
Oh, you should have
Because
been there.
I
It
would
was so
expect
much
like
fun.
the
No, 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 no. So we did amazing. Everybody was clapping. There was one of the moms that came up to me and said, "You think my daughter could do it?" And I was like, "Your daughter did an amazing job." And her dad started crying. He was like, "Oh, all the time, the work, the money that we put into modeling school, all of that is like amazing."
and parents do anything, for their kids. I mean, they'll do anything. They will help. They will, it's very emotional for a parent to see their child accomplish their dream,
It is.
you
It's
know.
like I see it because I have two kids, and for me, whatever my son plays the piano.
Mhm.
So the day that he had to go play the piano in public, I was shaking. I was nervous. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So I would do anything for him to fulfill his dreams. So that's very important, and especially to get the number of young girls getting abortions, the number of young girls getting sexually transmitted diseases out there is enormous. And that is caused by the fact that there's no entertainment, that there's no activities, healthy activities, creative activities in our community for them to get themselves involved in.
Right, to engage to
Exactly. So there has to be a platform to which these girls could feel at home,
yeah.
to this, for them to feel welcome and comfortable and not be bullied. They already have the school for that,
Yeah.
and just be free and be whomever they want to be. So the return effect that I got when I did this casting was very pleasant because of that. I was like, okay, these girls are enjoying. They didn't want to leave. They stayed there the whole time, just seeing the other girls talking to each other. They made friends. It was really good. I
How about the guys?
cannot.
What were the guys like?
Oh, the guys were super nice.
Yeah.
Guys are guys. The guys were very, very. They were very. It was kind of weird because guys are usually very serious and they just sit in a corner. This time they were very involved. I saw the models involved. Everything was very human, very, very like.
All humans,
Yeah,
welcome.
exactly.
Is
I've
that what you asked for?
other castings like New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. I've done the castings and it's very like blunt. It's very like mechanical. This time it felt humid. It felt like it felt like a hug from a teddy bear.
Oh, oh, that's sweet.
So
That's
what
sweet.
we were talking about was I felt designers were afraid. I spoke to a couple of designers to bring them in, and they said to me, I'm not really ready for this. What do you mean?
What did they mean by that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm like, but you're a designer. You project yourself as a designer. You advertise yourself as a designer, and you have clothes. You make clothes. You can make whatever you want. You have time to make anything you want. What do you mean you're not ready? So retire. Go work at Walmart. Literally.
But
If
were
you,
they telling you something about the venue
no,
or your
not the
show?
venue, not at all. They were just
Like they
saying
didn't want to do it
they're
because they're
not
afraid of in that venue, or
not the venue. It was just that them as a designer are not ready to go out there and show their work because they're afraid of what people might think or say about their work.
yeah. Oh wow,
That's horrible.
that is horrible.
So I'm working on those people, and hopefully by next year they'll show. So I had them come to my house. I did like a bunch of motivational, like I feel like a teacher now, but I have them under my sleeve, and I'm gonna make sure that they're ready for next year. But that saddens me, the fact that there's people out there that need the motivation, that need the platform, that need the push to get to where they have to be in life.
What do you recommend that as a community we do to try to open that space up more, to try to support this more?
I think that what we're doing is amazing, and thank you for the opportunity of having me and being able to fulfill this dream of mine, and be able to help others. I think that the events, that the community needs to do more events, get more kids involved. I was just, as I was driving here, I was thinking, there's no motivational teenage something. My
Yeah.
kid was telling me the other day, Mom, I'm so bored. He
Wow.
doesn't like sports. He does music, but he's like over that already. He's becoming a teenager, so the teenage years is very hard, especially now during COVID, that they have to
Yeah.
be locked in the house, for their safety. um but there isn't events, art events in school. It's just, yeah, math, history,
Mhm.
but art events, like, let's do a gallery showing, let's do a fashion show for teenagers,
Yeah.
let's do a concert of teenagers, like things like that, that can get them to get involved and motivated to figure out who they want to be in life.
I don't think parents generally are even aware of that, right? I think the normal thing is, oh, sports, soccer. Let's
Yeah,
send them
that's
to
what's
soccer
out there.
or
I
football,
was I was telling
baseball.
I was telling my kid, let's go out there and let's see it. And let's see. Sorry. I have allergies. And let's see. Hey, this is the reality. It's organic, okay?
Organic. Even that has
You
to
know
be
what? I'm
organic.
allergic to fabrics. I was just
Yeah,
telling you. So for me, it's very
which
hard
is like a
when.
universal punishment
Oh, I
for,
know.
for your.
There's rug here in the studio, so I'm like. So I was saying that there's soccer, there's football, there's basketball. That's what there is out there. There's
Or ballet,
or
or
ballet,
lessons, and
yeah,
everything costs
exactly.
money.
Oh yeah, a lot of money, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And whatever is out there for communities, parents are like, oh no, I don't know, I'm not so sure about that. No, but why?
But why?
Let's create something nice for kids to be able to showcase their art. By the time I was a teenager, I didn't know what I wanted to be in life. I started as a psychologist. Then I was like an FBI agent because I was, I wanted to know everything.
Yeah, I still don't know. So some
Well,
of us, some
let
of
me
us
tell
take
you
a
something.
while.
Sometimes I'm like, am I really a designer?
Yeah,
I think about it sometimes.
that is hilarious that
Yeah,
you say that.
because I like to do so many things that
But you've
it's
also been really successful. I mean, you've been in the New York Fashion Week, Dubai. You've had all these, and you're young, so
it's it's been
you've.
so much work that I haven't even noticed.
I
It's
will
like,
say that you work
yeah,
very hard.
I'm a
Wow,
non-stopper.
you really are. You really are. Tell us a little bit about this show in Domino Park. What
I'm so
what if
excited.
you go, what can people expect to see?
All right, so we're gonna have designers from all over the world. We have designers from Mexico, from Dubai, from Tokyo, from Puerto Rico, New York, Venezuela. So all these designers are coming in different times. So from 12 noon, let's say 11:30 around there, to 8 o'clock at night, we're gonna have every hour different designers.
Mhm.
So in the morning, we're gonna have more like of the casual, then in the afternoon resort wear, and then in the evening we're gonna have evening gown designers. We're also gonna have a lot of influencers coming and going. We're gonna have a lot of artists, doing live streams there, taking pictures with the crowd. We're gonna have designer meet and greets, models meet and greet. There's people that are going to be able to see what it takes to put together a fashion show. So we're going to take them, the kids from school from MDC and MIU, they're going to do a tour of what it takes to do a fashion show. We're going to take them around backstage, see the models getting ready, how the designers organize their work. There's so much going on. It's
Wow.
going to be so much fun. And then the festival is also going to be happening
Right.
around us. We
But
have.
how do you, so for example, if you wanted to go, and I know that it's limited seating on the
Oh, it's
interior.
very limited.
So if you wanted to
Yes.
go, like, what do you have to do to get in?
Well, we're working on that because since it's limited seating, we have a lot of industry professionals that have already confirmed their attendance. So we're working on the logistic to which we can organize a way of people being able to get tickets at a very low price. but maybe tickets during the day, or have maybe half of the seating for tickets accessible to everyone, because it's good that they see this, but also the tent is transparent so they can see from outside.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And is there some place they can go to see the kind of styles of clothing or?
Yes, we have in my Instagram and Republic of Yas as well. There's We're gonna start releasing all the designers, who they are, what they do, showcase their work. Also, we have we're trying to do a live stream. We're working on that, a live stream of
Okay.
the show,
That would be
so
amazing.
that
That
people
would be
could
really,
see
really
it.
nice.
Yeah, they could be outside in their phones and be like, "Oh, I'm
That
watching
would
that."
be amazing.
Yeah,
Because at least that way it would guarantee that if you go,
yeah.
you're going to be able to, even if you're there, you feel the vibe, the energy, and you can still
Yeah,
see
we're
it.
working on that. I'm dealing with that in the production side.
Never easy.
Ever. But it's fun. Yeah, but
What are your hopes for this show as time goes on? What do you?
a success. My hopes for the show is a
Mm.
success, and be able to help others fulfill their dreams and showcase their work, and live the dream, live the experience of doing what you think that you want to do. That way
Mhm.
you can figure out if that's really what you want to do.
So you knew at a pretty young age what you wanted to do. What kind of advice do you give that younger person who might be doubting? They
Well,
don't.
it's very simple. What's your hobby? What do
Mm.
you do when you're bored? What do you do when you don't want to do anything else? What do you do when you hate the world and you just want to be doing that? That's what you're supposed to do in life.
That's a
That's
really. I've never heard anybody say
that's
it
it.
that way, but that's actually a great way to.
What do you do to take the stress away? That's what you have to do as a career.
That's
100%. Because the day that you do what you love and you're happy doing it, you don't work anymore in your life.
yeah. You don't feel it.
You don't feel it.
You're not clocking
I
in.
could not sleep. Like, I haven't slept. I could
Wow.
not well, I slept a little, like 2 hours. I have a baby. So if I don't have to sleep, I'll take like a 20-minute nap here and there, and I'll
Mhm.
keep on working because I love what I do.
Mhm.
So it's never work,
Yeah. So I want to bring up something else that I know is important to you and is important to me and is important to the festival this year. And the theme of the festival this year is amplifying the voices inside of Cuba for freedom.
Yes, sir.
And so for me, that's been a lifelong area of importance. For Cubans, Cuban Americans, it's been a lifelong important issue for 62 plus years. And recently, last year, we got to see thousands of people throughout the island stand up and declare what they wanted. And it had nothing to do with the embargo. It had to do with the change of a regime that's totalitarian and brutal. It had to do with freedom and just living life. It's the first time that's ever happened in 62 years. It's monumental. In this country, I don't think it's understood.
I don't think so either.
I think in Miami, it's a divisive issue because it's not understood. Because when you have, 60% plus of a population living an issue, and the other 40%, it's not my issue.
Yep.
They compare it to Afghanistan,
Or I don't want to deal with it.
or I don't want to deal with it. Then that causes division.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about the importance of that to you and what you see right now, given all these occurrences.
Well, I lived in Cuba. I actually know what it is to go through that. I was a little girl, but still,
Mm.
I remember my father was a famous baseball player in Cuba. So he went to Mexico to play baseball, and he stayed. So my mother and I stayed in Cuba when that happened. And then he was
Wow.
going to come to United States. So when the news came out that he stayed, it was like way back in like 93 or so, when, no artist could leave the country. It was horrible. So when that happened, my mother and I were taken, because they knew that we were the next ones to go. So
What do you mean taken?
like we were taken to by the police, by the government police.
And
And
where?
well, I don't remember exactly. And my mom died 9 months ago, so I can't really ask her.
Oh, wow.
But we
Wow.
were taken
I'm
by the
sorry.
police. We were taken by the police, and they I remember being in a room and they just kept us there. They kept us there and they told my mom something about like, oh, if you leave, this is gonna happen, or they threatened her. So after 3 years, my grandfather, he's American, he was born here, so he was able to bring us to United States
Mhm,
legally.
mhm.
But it was very hard for us because they would write stuff on the wall in front of our house, and they were like, it was horrible. So I went through all of that, and I'm going through it now with my husband, that he's an advocate for the for Cuban freedom. He's actually the director of Patria Vida, the
Atrevida,
music
a
video that
cielo vasto.
created
Yeah,
all of this craziness
yeah.
in Cuba. So I live very, very close to what's going on. The day that happened in Cuba in my house, it was like it was all over the place. And it was like, oh my God, I can't believe it was something that has never happened before. So it was very intense for us.
I find it very striking that people like your husband that have been here, what, 2 years, less
Yeah.
than 2 years. And Miami has always been that destination, by the way.
Yep.
Miami is always 2 years behind. Like, if you want to know what's happening in Havana, they're probably here just 2 years.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely.
There's
Most definitely.
there's a difference, which drives me nuts when people want to learn about Cuba and they go to New York
Yeah.
or like a think tank. I'm like, wait a minute, like you
What are
have,
you doing?
what are you doing? It also strikes me, and not just with Cubans, but Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and all immigrants, that there's an expectation when you come to this country and you're an immigrant. Oh, wipe the chalkboard, like start over.
Yeah.
There's no, like, you come here with nothing, not even the ability to have anxiety or a trauma, or you. Good luck to you. Here's
Have fun.
right. Have fun.
Yeah.
Here's the chalkboard. We don't care
Yep.
what happened anywhere else.
Mhm.
Like, you start now new with zero in your account.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
it. And do it.
Yeah, and don't
Figure it
complain.
out.
Yeah, and don't
Figure it
complain
out.
because you're lucky to be here. You
Uh-huh.
know, I find that really traumatic
It's
because
very, very, very.
I can't even imagine coming here and feeling like your identity is gone.
It's gone. You become somebody else, and I've lived through that with my husband. Thank God he did amazing, because he's young and he's very smart. He's an artist, so it takes, he does what he loves every day, and he's moved his career here as well.
Mhm.
But internally, I'm pretty sure that he's been through that. He's in a different country, different daily tasks to do,
Different language, different
yes,
culture,
everything.
different system.
Everything. The system is what hits you the most, and then having to leave his mom, his grandmother, his family there, not being able
And
to
not
see
for
them
anything,
ever
but
again.
not for anything, but we don't care. Like I can say, that the
Yeah,
Cuban American part of me, like, our society is pretty brutal if you're on
it
the
is.
outside.
And
It's kind of like,
that's
good luck.
and I'm sorry to say this, but that's how I am.
Yeah, me
And
too.
it's been very rough on me.
Me too,
Very
because
rough.
we have a different cultural
We're like,
aspect.
this is how I am. And it sounds mean, but it's like, grow up and get over it.
Yeah,
Get up and do
exactly,
shit. I'm sorry.
exactly. No, and also the Cuban culture doesn't help very much either, because we're all about dale, like, go to it,
Yeah.
just do
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Just,
Yep. Yep.
like,
Yep.
there's no
We're very like,
excuse. Like,
no.
yeah, no
No.
excuse,
Yep.
no time for
No
excuses.
time for
like,
that.
Get to work.
No,
you
no
know?
time for crying. Get to
Yeah.
work, get done what you have to do, and move forward.
Yeah,
And that's it.
I think that's very brutal
Yeah.
to any immigrant.
I've learned to be patient and
Well, listen,
to be supportive.
And I think that's amazing. I think what you've learned, if we can somehow transmit
No,
that.
and not only with my husband, not at all. He's fine, but friends. I have friends that have come from Cuba that were my friends before, other family members that I've had at my house, and it's very hard for them to get used to the new system.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
hard.
for sure.
Very hard.
Well, listen, what you just said about learning and being supportive, hopefully we can transmit some of that to Miami-Dade
Yes.
County.
Yes.
And hopefully with Gay Ocho Festival and with shows like yours, Republic of Yas, on Sunday, February 20th, we can enlist and enroll more people and get them inspired and motivated.
And make this festival more than once a year.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yes.
But maybe
different seasons.
Maybe we spread a little love. We give people safe spaces to be who they are, even if it's just for one day together. And we keep building diversity, inclusion.
I'm going to declare something here now and mark the day.
Okay, the day is marked.
But I think this festival is going to go to different countries, different states in the United States and countries. It needs to be in different places in the world not just in Miami. I think it has the capability, it has the professionalism, the team, the right team that could take it to other places that people need it, because this is something that it doesn't exist. It's not just a carnival. It's not just a gay festival. It's not.
No,
I'm not gay and I'm
Right.
here and I
Well, that's-
love it. And I get to be myself here. And
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
that is exactly what it's all. Well, you know what? From your mouth to God's ears.
That's it.
Hopefully,
Done. Check
that's-
mark.
And you absolutely have vision.
I do.
I love it. I love it.
I do.
A little scary, but
Hey, you know what? If it doesn't scare you, then it isn't good enough.
that's true. That's absolutely
Yep.
true. You know, and on that note, I'm going to thank you for spending this time with us. I want to thank everyone out there for joining us for the show, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you
from the
for
Forward
having
Miami
me.
Show.